I'm kind of, as a content provider, terrified by the quality of creative. I saw there's a Honda has as part of their invent strategy for branding, they have a dreams campaign which does little short docs about dreams. And I was looking at it out of professional curiosity, and I actually found myself personally engaged, which terrified me because it means that it's quite possible that the model where content producers made stuff and then sold it to advertisers may be completely gone. Maybe we're moving back to a very old model where Standard Oil used to pay outright for Milton Berle to go on television. Is it possible that we may cut out content providers altogether and that advertisers may just pay outright to produce really interesting stuff? And the value of it is not in advertising dollars, but just in terms of sponsorship. If you can prove a lot of people watch it, then it's worthwhile.
I think we're seeing that already.
Yeah, being done.
That terrifies me.
The world of marketers renting the media is sort of over, as Rob was telling me earlier. And, it's becoming something different. Brands want to create their own content.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing is what's the appetite for risk among brand owners, because the great thing about the rental model is like being a godfather or an uncle. Renting children so much more comfortable than owning them. But it's the same thing. And what happens is you move up the risk equation, because you can go off and you can hire Jennifer Aniston and one of her several boyfriends, and you could make a fearful dud, and it could cost you an awful lot of money. It'd be deeply humiliating. And actually, when you think of add them all up, the number of advertisers that have ever made really compelling brand program, stuff that you really, really wanted to watch and were valuable in their own, the number's really small. And The Economist, for example, is really very good at making business-type content that's jolly interesting. And many of the other people here are as well. So I don't think it's kind of over, but the blend will change.
Yeah. We were, I was on the web, no, I won't tell you where I was. We have a new, an advertiser with a new agency, a very large agency, and the agency just won the account, and they made it very clear in 2010 they're looking to create customer experiences, and they almost said, like, if you see us as placing advertising for this client, then you've lost. And so the goal for the media partners is to create customer experiences, and that's going to be a lot about content, it's a lot about tools and widgets and gadgets we haven't even thought of yet, and the opportunity is enormous, but we have to work a lot harder to do that.
So does that emphasis on customer experiences really obviate the need to work at all ends of the funnel? I mean, one of the examples I love from just the past few years is Travelocity. I mean, they are about customer experience on their site and how well they manage the travel and booking experience, but they didn't start breaking away and stealing share until they introduced that little gnome in 30-second spots.
But let me just ask,
Right.
I just want to know,
Sorry.
was the implication that you were to create that experience when the advertiser tells you that?
With the advertiser, I think it's going to be very much a partnership. It's going to be creating content, experiences, tools, things that have not been done yet, that we have not done.
So is this the job of the agency?
So what you have is a really interesting thing. When we look around, customer service is becoming a large part of marketing now. I mean, it's just the whole wrapper around it. The Best Buy stuff with Twitter and all of those kind of things. We've got brand owners looking at wrapping services around their brands that are either paid-for services or value-added services. And you've got brand owners working with content owners to create brand experiences. Because what we're trying to do all of the time now is we're trying to get real value out of the advertising push dollars that we spend by driving them into an engagement with an experience that then throws off some additional and some durable value. And even better, when those shared experiences start populating all the social spaces and lead to the discovery which gains the value at the other end of the show.
And I think the one group of nieces and nephews that we don't have to necessarily borrow is the audience of the traditional media outlet. I mean, paid advertising historically has been to rent somebody's audience to run your commercial on. What we're hearing now from a lot of larger brands is, why am I not developing my own audience? Why do I need somebody else's audience? And I don't think that's a cut and dry, you end up using the rented audience, if you will, to do things in certain parts of the funnel, to your part, Frank. But a lot of, I'm hearing this a lot over the last 6 months. I want my own audience. I don't want to pay to develop somebody else's audience.
And General Mills has been
so,
successful at that.
Are we going to see the publishers competing against the agencies? I mean,
They already are.
Well, they already are.
Meredith, for example.
Meredith is one of our fiercest competitors.
Yeah.